Wow, and that was only to 5,000 RPM. Hey guys, it's Glenn from glenscarcollection.com, and we're driving one of my favorite cars, the C7 Corvette with a manual transmission. This is a 2014, brought to us by Verona Montclair Acura in Verona, New Jersey, and it is a sharp looking car. Some say all Corvettes should be red. Now, this is not a Z51 package, but it does have an aftermarket exhaust, so we will hear a very loud sound. I think the C7s are one of the best buys you can buy today. You could still buy very nice slow mileage C7s for under 50 grand with a manual transmission, and I think that's a steal. Now, this does have some aftermarket stuff like this front diffuser. So if you look at this car, it almost looks like a ZR1, right? ZR1 is even wider and more boisterous than this, but this really looks like the $100,000 supercar. So let's take it for a spin. Now, if you know with the Corvettes, you don't need the key. You just put your hand here and you press, and the door opens. We're gonna have a push button start as well. And this car sounds pretty good. And to open and close the door, to open the door, you're gonna press this button. So we're gonna close that there, put the key on the side here. This is our push to start. Here we go. Oh, you good. Duh. Put the clutch in, Glenn. You've only driven stick your whole life. All right. So I love how the gauges goes here. We don't have too much gas, so I got to make sure I get back to the dealership. Parking brake here. You can go through all your modes here. Tuning modes. We're going to do, so that's track mode, sport mode, touring mode. Should we drive in track mode? What the heck? 7-speed manual. Honestly, I wouldn't use 7th gear unless I was on the highway. All right, this car has about 41,000 miles. It's for sale at that dealership, so just ask for the general manager, Tim, if you're interested. This has an aftermarket splitter that's very low, so I'm gonna try my best not to scrape. There are some blind spots compared to other cars. Oops, watch out. This C7, when it came out in model year 2014, really had world-beating supercar performance. You had a 0 to 60 time in under 4 seconds. A reasonable price for a car. You can get a Z51 option that made it more track ready with bigger brakes, stiffer suspension. You can get a sport exhaust, which gave you a little more horsepower, 460 horsepower, I believe, instead of 455. It's a pretty comfortable car if you drive it in the comfort modes. We're in track mode now. That's a little stiff, and these roads are very bumpy to begin with. I'm dressed in my suit today because I had a couple showings prior to coming to the dealership, so they were nice enough to accommodate my schedule. I love that this is a stick. And as we drive it, I'm going to give you a comparison for this car to the C8. All right, so you got the really cool gauges. I love how these gauges are, the RPMs. I like how they're separate, the miles per hour from the tachometer, but you also can see your gas, which is very, very low. Temperature, we're up to temperature, so we can give it a little acceleration. It's not a brand new car, so it's already broken in. Steering wheel is nice. I actually like this steering wheel better than the C8. This is a way more menacing car, a more raw car than the C8. I think the C8 appeals to everybody for all ages. This car is definitely more focused. C8 has a lot more room here, even though everything is kind of cantered to the driver. It's a lot more electronic, more comfortable. This is more like a beast. So when you compare this to a Viper, this is like a Lexus. When you compare this against a C8 Corvette, this is like a Viper. Oh, just turn. All right, so now we're going to come to some S turns, which are really going to be great for us. Watch out for cyclists and people crossing the double line to avoid the cyclist. It's a real sharp car. The turning is really good. You will experience some oversteer if you drive it like a maniac, but if you know what you're doing, you can get a really, really good lap time with this car. Now, this has an aftermarket exhaust, so it sounds pretty amazing. And Corvettes have really good brakes, so you don't have to worry about stopping there. It's very loud in here because of the aftermarket exhaust. Visibility isn't the best. Steering feel is fine. It goes where I want it to, and that's the most important part. 2014 was the first year of the C7, and it was a huge improvement over the C6 before it, at least I think so. This car really gave the Corvette world-class performance, and it's the last Corvette that you can get with a manual transmission. Now, it's not to say that a C9 Corvette, they could always bring the manual back. C8s, the way they're designed, there's no way they can put a manual in it. So why would they bring it back for the C9? That's never happened before. Well, you know what? That's not true. Porsche actually did that on the GT3, the 991 model year, 2014. They said GT3s from now on will be dual clutches. Then 2018, when the 991.2 GT3 came out, a lot of the Porsche purists complained, said bring us back the manual, and they actually did. And bringing back the manual, 70% of the sales for the GT3 models were manuals, where it's about 10% manuals on the regular models like my Carrera. Now, if you follow the channel, you know that I've owned 3 Corvettes. My last one, a C5 Z06. And I still think that's one of the best cars for the money. Well, if you want a manual transmission, this is the fastest and best Corvette that you could get. And I think the C7s are a great buy right now. They're holding their value. Even when this pandemic pricing is over, I still think they're going to hold their value, because they may be the very last Corvettes with a manual transmission, unless years from now they bring it back on the C9. And the longer it takes for the C9 to come, which could be 5, 7, 10 years away, the less chance they'll have of being a manual, just because there's not a desire for it. Now, in the C7s, 80% of the cars were sold with a 6-speed automatic, which isn't very good. So if you do buy a C7, you definitely want the manual. Now, this is, you know, a crude car, so you can hear the sounds. It's a lot more comfortable than, say, a Dodge Viper, and a lot more usable. It can easily be a daily driver. This has some mods on it, an aftermarket exhaust, so it is very loud in here. Years ago, there was a book, All Corvettes Must Be Red. So let me know in the comments below whether you think red is the perfect color for a Corvette. All right, so here's the test. We don't have much gas, so I gotta go easy. Let's take it on these S roads here and see how she does. All right, so very composed. The power's up high on this car. Wow, and that was only to 5,000 RPM. This is a used 2014. It's not a Z51. Z51 will give you a little stiffer suspension, bigger brakes. It has an aftermarket exhaust, not the Chevy Performance exhaust. But it handles great. This is a great car for the track as well. So if you want one car that you could drive to work, and it's much quieter without this aftermarket exhaust. I love how this sounds, but I agree it's not for everybody. I would want it, but most people probably would not. So you got great brakes, great handling. You can pull a G on the skid path. Brakes that do really, really well. Now this has an aftermarket front splitter, so we're very, very low to the ground here. Now these cars, if you drive them in 6th gear, or even my C5 Z06, you can get actually really good gas mileage. So this is a car that can easily be a daily driver. Now the interior is nothing to write home about. The money went into the performance, not the interior. But believe it or not, this is a huge upgrade compared to my C5 Z06 and even the C6 models. We finally got some good seats in this car. And this is a car that'll run with the Porsches, run with the Vipers, be less to maintain, and very reliable. Maintenance is really nil on these cars compared to, say, a 911. Great cars for the money. You can get these under 50 grand all day long. With a manual transmission, how many cars can you get for that price? You spec out a Porsche Cayman with options, it's gonna cost you 90 grand, right? You can get a slightly used one of these for under 50. All right, we'll do a little acceleration here. Oh, wow. Oh my. Just want to make sure that wasn't a police officer. Visibility isn't that good, so it's hard to tell, especially with this spoiler in the back, who's behind me. Wow. Now, I do more of that, but we have probably just enough gas to get back to the dealership, and I don't want to run out. So this is a great car. I would definitely buy a C7 Corvette with a manual. You know, there's a really good chance, probably 90% chance, that they never make a manual again. They can't make a manual the way it's designed in the C8, so it would have to be a C9, and I think by the time a C9 comes out years from now, that there's really no chance of another manual. And the Corvettes are selling like crazy. Now, would I buy this or a C8? Well, I would probably take this because of the manual transmission. Now, if you could get a C8 for anywhere near sticker, then I would have to strongly consider it. But, you know, $100,000 for a C8, I would take this all day long. So contact DCH Acura, ask for Tim, the general manager, and he'll hook you up with this car or any new or used Acura. And you'll just have a blast with this car. And they're going to hold their value. The manuals, I think, even after the pandemic, are going to hold their value, which is going to be very important when you buy a car. I hate to lose money. You hate to lose money. So here's a car that you can get, whether you get a Z51, a base like this, a Z06, a Grand Sport. Have a phenomenal time with it and hold its value. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.
To